What's up, guys? I figured I'd give you guys a watch list, even though it's a little late. I'm not sure what's going on with my hotkeys here, but it ain't no biggie. What's up? How you guys doing? I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. Sorry, I kind of put this together. I was going over some of the stuff I'm looking at for this week, and it was taking a little bit longer because I was going through a hell of a list today. But I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Again, I'm Justin. Welcome to the Ivy League live stream. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already done so. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Very thankful for all of y'all. And my goal here is to help bring you a little cash flow. Help bring you a little money. I just turned the camera off. It's not that it's off. It's actually on right now. I just have it hidden. So that way you can get a clear idea on some of the things that I'm looking at, where you guys can see all the indicators and things like that. But again, I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's time to get to work. We're going to have a volatile week this week, so you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to strike and know where you're striking, what you're going to be what are you supposed to be long? What are you supposed to be short? We're going to go through a few of those right now, right? We want to know stocks that are weak, that have a weak catalyst if this market continues to the downside. We don't want to be shorting some of these strong names that just keep going up and up and up. If the market pulls back, yes, they'll pull back, but we want to get that extra lift to the ones that are weak when the markets, the Dow, Qs, IWM, where the whole market starts to roll over. If that happens, again, if that happens, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it does, we want to make sure that we are optimizing that downside. And that's my goal here, right? I don't think you guys understand what the markets can do for you because you guys haven't been taught. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe you think you have, maybe you think you haven't. Either way, you have found us. That's the start, okay? If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. You have questions about me, the markets, anything. Congratulations, I don't forget, to the boys that made it, to the schools that made it to March Madness. We are entering March Madness. It's a great time of the year. If you don't know, we do trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, right here on this channel. Come join us in the morning. We cover the watch list. We cover the news, earnings, all that fun stuff. You liking the stream, subscribing will help someone else find us. So again, I do greatly appreciate you guys. Again, it is a little late, so let's get right into it. Hit that like button, subscribe. God bless you. Thank you. And Lord, let us run it up on these bums. All right? These bums could be the market makers. It could be anybody out there, but we need our money. Okay? We have a job to do. We got a business to run, and we're going to run it. So, Lord, grant us the power to do so. S&Ps, all right? S&Ps kind of broke out of this range, depending on where you have it drawn from. I think right now it's really telling on what's going to happen this week, on this bounce back. It's a little crowded up here. So, if for somebody that's new, may not understand this, right? When we come into a day, we need to know, do we have room, whether it's to the upside or to the downside? Or are we coming into a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers? Like if you were to notice here, I draw this box. Quick lesson real quick. All right. I'm going to give you a quick lesson. And I want you to keep this in mind for when you decide to hit that button. All right, because this is the important part here, is whether or not you're going to get your follow through. Now, if you're playing something that has a really serious catalyst that's going to bring a lot of liquidity and a lot of movement, whether that's up or down, that's different. Okay, news is going to trump technical analysis every time. It's going to shatter it. Okay, but if there's a little bit of news with a little bit of technical setup, but the news is it's not anything serious, like whether it's earnings or a new product or whatever, like an FDA approval, whatever it may be. You can see here now, if the S&Ps, okay, we're right here, right? Versus right here. Look at all the buyers and sellers that we have to contend with. So that means We get a little bit of up move, bang, we see some sellers. It comes back down. We get some buyers, it goes back up. We get some sellers, it comes right back down. But here, we would get more follow through because there's very little sellers and there are very little buyers. Okay? So this week, think about me right now telling you, does this have room? Are you ready? Are you getting ready to get into an area that has a lot of consolidation? Right? Is it crowded in that area you're trying to take this thing to? Okay? Because that's going to help you when you go to push the button long or short on whether or not you're going to get paid. Look at the moves here, right? You can see it for firsthand. Look at that move. Bang. Right? Look at this move. Right? Right. I don't know why it's not working. Bang. Right? Right? Look. Bang. 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 Right? Look here. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, a little bit of move. A little bit of move. Right? It's like, okay, it's just, it's there, but you got to wait 2-3 days. You got to wait for the catalyst, the Powells and stuff. So what I'd like to see ultimately is a in the S&Ps. We can go to the futures real quick and I'm going to show you, but right here, I'd like to see if we could get a little bit of a run up tomorrow, see where we open up at, and try to test Thursday's low. All right, that's right around 512, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we hit 514. 512, 514 on the S&Ps. Okay, 512, 514. All right. Now, real quick, also, what I wanted to also let you guys know is that I am like a lot of the names that I'm looking at this week. Not only am I like trying to find, the majority of stocks for the most part are in a decent uptrend. All right, so if the market's going to go higher, okay, we want to make sure we're in the ones that are long. We just pretty much, it's just business as usual. We've been climbing higher, right? It wouldn't surprise me if you look here on the SPY. Now I'm getting to my point. Look at this little this like flat top resistance here, right? This pretty much, we run up, we kind of consolidate, we rally, and then right now we're like, to me, it looks like we rallied, and then we're pulling back, and let's see if we can't get that test, and maybe put in a lower high at like 516. All right, but I want to worry about 512 and 514 first. But a nice lower high, again, up here at like 515, like I would like 516. Heck, maybe we go even higher to 520. Maybe we finally hit 520, and that's when you get a lot of sellers coming. Maybe they don't. Maybe there's still a lot of money on the sidelines, because there is, right? So let's not guess. What we're going to do is take it level by level. We're going to say, okay, 512, so far, that was a level of support. Not really. We're at a level of support right now. 5.9, 508. 508.50, okay, 508. This area right here has been our area of support. So until that changes, right now we'll look to be buyers. And you can see here, futures are heading higher. Now the picture is a little bit clearer on the future side. Okay, see, usually I have time and sales up here, but I didn't want to take away from you guys to with a blank space being in the equity market. So, what I'm going to do here, this is a half-hour chart. This is fine. We can go with that. So you guys can see here. All right, I'll draw that back a little bit. First, I wanted to go to a 5-minute chart. Okay, or a 3-minute. It don't really matter. Okay. So the IWM was, if you guys didn't know this, the IWM was pretty much flat, a little green on Friday. So that's kind of giving us a sign that the IWM and the Dow could lead us to the upside with the Qs lagging. If that means if this market continues the way that I think it's going to, we're going to look for Dow names to be long early in the week. And then if we start to put in that lower high, we're going to shift over to technology names, like communication services. Let me give you the appropriate word for that. Information. Okay, information technology is what it was. It was communication, information. Not really the same thing, but same difference. We'll shift over there for the short sides. But anyway, I think futures here, you can see on this ES here, this looks like a nice area where we might find some resistance. Okay, watch this area. I didn't put this when I was doing this earlier, but watch the SPY up here at 520, 521, 520 area. Your real resistance is actually up here at 522. What is that? 521.9, 522. All right, 522. Yeah, 522. But not even, right? Because the sell-off started up there at 524. All right, but anyway, so you could see where I was looking. What I was looking for here on futures was to see if we would get above that level here of 519, right? Get above it and then like pull back to it. If we just leave it, all right, I will look for a pullback tomorrow into this level. And this would be a bullish sign to me. Tomorrow, if we come in and we have a nice gap up tomorrow, guys. We have a nice gap up tomorrow. You know, obviously, I think the trouble may come in up here at 520. So I could line this back up a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, I think 520 would be the safer bet. Yeah, I like that better. What about y'all? What y'all think? I like that a lot better. Now, again, the areas aren't going to be exact. It's not going to be to the penny. But if we come in with a gap up, right, I want to look for that pullback into the close, possibly even the low of Friday, and look for it to hold. All right, because then we have our Fed meeting this week, and if we get some bearishness, maybe that comes in then. And maybe we get a little bit like Monday, Tuesday, we start to bounce a little bit. You know, right now we're getting a bit oversold, so you could start to see that pullback right now, actually. I would expect the ES to start to pull it back just a little bit. All right. Doesn't mean it has to, but it, you know, in my opinion, I think it's coming right, you know, as of right now. But anyway, long story short, let's see if we come in with our gap up tomorrow. All right. You know, I would really like to see the futures contracts pull back to like 512. Okay. This 512 area, and where would that be on the SPY? So that would be like 505. You know, it's a little bit froggy here because of that huge gap up. Pretty sure that was Nvidia earnings. I think that gap up was from Wednesday. I'd have to see. I'd have to go back and look. Usually I have it mapped out. But anyway, I want to see where we open up tomorrow. If we come in with a gap up tomorrow, I'm going to tell you guys right now that I'm going to be looking for a pullback. All right, I'm going to look for that pullback into Friday's close. All right, into Friday's close. That's a little too much, isn't it? Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Sorry about that. So I want to make this quick again because there's some stocks I want to go over with you guys. I want to look for the pullback and see if we can't get that bounce off of 508. You can see the volume off of this thing. You know, it wasn't too crazy. It was a very nice reversal, though. Reversal. So chances are we get down in here. We keep reversing and reversing off of it, but we keep visiting it. Like, look, we keep reversing. Reverse. Well, it's going to come to where, you know, if we keep coming back down here to 508, them buyers are just going to, like, not come in there, and they'll wait to catch this thing at a lower price because, obviously, like, you leave it, but then you come right back. You leave it, you come right back. You leave it, you come right back. So something's got to give there. But I would like to see a pullback again tomorrow into yesterday's close on the SPY. Really, the overall indexes, all right? Don't be shy. Go ahead and look at the Dow, IWM, and Qs and find the leader, find the laggard, find out the overall direction because one or two of them will give you the overall direction. Now let's just say if the Dow and the IWM kind of lead us to the upside, that doesn't mean that it's you need to be long the Qs. You would just wait for that rollover if the Qs are lagging, right? Not going up as much and they're lower. Like if you were to look at like the IWM, let's just say the IWM, because the IWM again closed like green, right? The IWM closed green. The SPY was down. Look at that. You see the difference here? What I'm trying to say? Look at Thursday's low and Friday's low, and where it put in a higher low. So that, and look at the volume there. You're seeing rotation. That is rotation in and of itself. So then I'm like, okay, let me look at the Dow. You know, it's down. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, Qs are down. So the Qs are right here. You see this, like, it comes down, up, where it comes down, up, and then it makes a lower low, right? Makes a lower low here. Let's look at the IWM. It came down, it made a higher low. Look at the Dow. All right, it came down, up, down, and up, but it didn't even use, like, the Qs came up a little bit further. Nope, they didn't. Pretty much tied up. All right, anyway, you get my drift, right? You guys get my drift. And what I want to also show you guys real quick, take notice of this, because I'm going to be looking at possibly the KRE, regional banks. Look, this is the IWM. This is the Russell 2000. Do you guys see anything? Now, this could be changing because of futures. And that stinks, because what you're, like, look how green this is, right? Financials. So I don't think it has. But look at financials right here. Look how green this is. Look at that. Bancorp, right? You want to pay attention to some of these names. Root, R-O-O-T, that was up 14% Friday. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is for a day. This should be daily. I'm almost positive this is for daily. Yeah, 6% for MSTR. So, you know, you're seeing a lot. You're seeing the shift. Look how green the IWM is. So go through, find out the names and what sector was strong. Like, there's hardly any red here, as far as like technology, right? Aren't we saying technology we want to be short? Okay, you guys see what I'm talking about. Okay, again, if you're new here, welcome. You guys hitting that like button, subscribing, really helps us, you know, reach out to other people that would like to learn, ask questions, and all that stuff. If you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, or any stocks you guys want to cover, just throw right in the chat. So first things on the watch list was like Roblox. I was watching Roblox. It was an idea. I don't know if I'm going to trade it yet. I don't think it's ready. All right, I think it's just sitting here in a consolidation. What I want to see is if Roblox gets back down here, like to this. Yeah, see, it's there at 39 now. If I go take you guys to an hourly chart, but I want to make sure, because look, we have our 200-day moving average. So my original plan was to see if we could get it down to like 38, 37.50. I wanted to see if we could really take this thing down. Look at the volume coming in here. Okay, you guys can see that Roblox is having some nice volume. It is a nice bull flag. Let me do this. Sorry, I didn't. All right, you guys can see this is a nice bull flag. So if we were to try and measure this to get an idea, now this is a rough example. See, I wouldn't do that because of that pullback double top. That's like more of a, you know, I kind of can't argue with it, but let's just see. If I were to put that there and measure it from that point, okay, and then we do something like this, all right, we do something like this. If it starts to break out, like I could probably see the trend line now. Let's just say like right here at that point. Does that take us anywhere? Does that take us to a major level? I mean, that's damn near that same as that pivot top there. And I would bet if we did the whole move here, it probably takes us to the opening price from here to here. Okay, I know it's a little hard. I'll pan it in a little bit more. Look at that. Pretty much. It's a little over. I was quick with it when I was doing it, so it's not like I'm like trying to critique to a penny. But you guys can see for the most part, it's telling you like the low $60. But anyway, you know, we need the markets to go higher off of that, right? We still need some bullish sentiment. And the thing is Roblox not getting off its butt. It's still down at lows. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is it's still on its lows. Yes, it's putting in a bull flag, but I kind of am a little bearish, okay? I'm a little bearish for a few reasons. I think we could get a pop, and I think that pop is a shortable pop. Okay, if we get a little bounce on it, I would look to see if I can't try to get some more of this out, some more short side out. And where I'm trying to go is the 200-day moving average. All right, I'm trying to take Roblox to the 200-day moving average. Maybe we get a possible bounce again back to the 100-day moving average, the 20-day moving average, the 90 MA, your 50. Like, everything is converging right there. All right, where do we open up tomorrow, and can we get it just like a low volume bounce back to like $40, and then try to like something like this, get like an inside out type of day. It tries to get over the 100-day, but it can't, right? It puts in a tail. Holy cow. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. All right, but, yes, I see it's oversold and all that fun stuff. It puts in a little tail. Look at all these tails here. Tail. There's tails all over the place. But still, then I would like to see if we could, like, come in with, like, maybe a gap down, right? And I want to try to get, like, something like this. Maybe it takes 2 days. It's not going to give you that in one day. But I'm just saying, like, in the beginning of the week, And then maybe you come in with, like, a gap down where it bounces again. It could take a couple days. But I'm looking to see if we can't short again up here. This area is holding as support. You got to watch 39 for, like, the support and $40. So it's like a fight between 39 and 40, I feel like. But we got the increase in volume on Friday. All right, the IWM was green. Why is Roblox red? Okay, why is Roblox RBLX red? And the IWM was green. So there we have divergence. So right now, I have just pointed out two bearish scenarios. What do I have that's bullish? The RSI is oversold, but I have the SPY, the Qs, the IWM kind of working higher at highs. Other stocks are at highs. The Roblox is still on its lows. Bearish. That's one. Increase in volume on the break of this level here, right? On the break of that 100-day moving average, the support level that was resistance, you see here, right? This level here. You guys can see, right? Breaks above, support, bounces, comes back, tries to regain it, can't. Tries to regain it, can't. Support. Support. All right, so it's like, okay, now you got the increase in volume. All right, look at the volume that came in now that we didn't have before on the break of that level. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why my charts are being a pain in the ass. So if we get a low volume type of day, maybe we get a gap down with a bounce up back to 39. I want to try to take it to the 200-day moving average. It's at 37. So that's an idea. Again, I'm not too sure, if it's really going to give us the follow through for a few reasons. But the one thing I can say is that if it falls, like, look, where's all the price action at? The price action is up there at $40. We're below 40. Now we have what I was saying earlier, you don't have a bunch of buyers and sellers in your way. So if it gets going, it's going to give you that follow through, or potentially could. Maybe we just have a continuation and we do end up seeing $31, $30 to $32. This would ultimately be like an awesome target that I would like to get to. Maybe we put on a swing trade. Okay. I haven't looked at news or anything lately, but it's on my watch. Right now, it's consolidating. All right. You have a nice double top up there. It's consolidating. It's trying to make a higher low. We'll see what the beginning of the week. I'm going to watch Monday and Tuesday on Roblox. Okay. I'm going to watch this name and I will. I'll check back in. I'll check back in on it at a later date. Maybe it gives us another shot back at, like. See, again, you have the 50-day, the 20-day, the 9, the 100. Like, I think that it's had a little too much to drink, and she's pulling back. All the major moving averages have been broken, right? So that is. Let me see if I can do something here. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me go to like a 30-minute chart. I think I know why it's doing this too. It's because of a few reasons. Let's see. No. Let's go here. Let's do this. This way I don't have to fight it as much. Alright. Alright, so that's Roblox, okay? Entries, again. I'm going to look to see what happens if we can get that. Look, you can see how it bounced and then rejected again. Friday, right? Look, it tried to bounce and then rejected. So it's on watch. Look, I'm telling you right now, if you break 39.25, I'll be in this trade. This level right here breaks. I'll put the dotted line. I'm going to take it. I'm going to shoot my shot. And Lord grant us to run it up. Or, I'm sorry. Lord grant us the power to run it up on these bums. We are below it now. I don't know where I saw that level. I don't know if I just changed the time frame. So we're still below it. Look for, man, if we can't get above 39.50, I'm going to put this here. If we cannot get above that level, we'll see where we open up. If we're above it tomorrow, I'm going to look for 39.50 to be support. And it's not time yet. Because maybe we'll pull back to 39.50, come in with a gap up, pulls back, tries to get above the 50-day, and then you start to see it roll over. All right. $40 short Roblox. All right. We'll keep with, I'm not going to say keep with the weak names. I was going to do McDonald's, but McDonald's will be the next one. Apple. Apple. Again, so Roblox, $40 short, 39, like the 39.50 area. You have to go back to the stream and watch it. Target would be 37.50 on Roblox if we can get short up there and it gives us that follow through. We'll take profits as we go, guys. Put that profit in your pocket. Put that profit in your pocket. Like and subscribe. Put the profit in your pocket and like and subscribe. Apple 171. So if you see, you guys can see 170 and 171 is holding. Okay, 170 and 171 is holding. All right, what I want you guys to take notice to on Apple here is Apple's been fairly weak. It has, but I don't know why I did that because I want to show you. Look at the volume that came in on Friday. All right, look at the volume that came in on Apple on Friday. And what else do we have? You have the markets red. Look at that volume. Look how green it was. Right? I should have just rose it up. I know you guys, I know this is a little, this is what I don't really care for about these charts is that everything is so small. But I'll just do that. You guys can see, look at the volume on Apple, guys. That was a nice hold of 175, 170, 75, call it 171. I want to see if we can get another test of 170 because you can see this little like gap here for 170. It didn't really quite get to 170, but if we can just like get another opportunity down here at 170, I want to see if we can't take the long back up to 174 and see if 174 will break. Why do I want to see this? I want to see this for a few reasons. Now, I noticed last week or the week prior, I thought we were getting some divergence. So check this out. You guys can see here on the RSI. So last week, it felt like we were getting a bit of divergence, but we never got it. All right, I was looking for it, but we never got it. So, you know, we're a bit oversold. I just wouldn't mind seeing a relief bounce. I think you're going to see a lot of people try to nibble buy on Apple, especially if the markets are green. Now, if we're going to get a rise out of the markets, I want to see if I can get a little bit of a bounce back, okay, into this green line is the 20-day moving average. Get that thing to come up, get Apple to meet, and where do they meet? They meet at that close right there at 175, 176. So my goal is a 170, 171 hold, long to 174, 176 would be final take profit. You know, 176 is a stretch because 174 is an obvious brick wall. That's a double top there. Bang, bang. That's a double top there on Apple at 174. So, you know, I would, you know, be patient with this because you can see this little pocket here, right? This level right there looks like a really nice level to hold for Apple. And also lining up with the daily chart, if we can get it to get up to that 9 EMA, the 20-day moving average, if we could start to trend and like test that 20-day moving average. Maybe they both meet at 174. Okay? It had, now if I'm seeing correctly here, it opened on the day. Okay, it's talking about from prior close up here at 173. But on the day, it was green. On the day, it was green. So, you're seeing a bounce. You're seeing some nice support come in there. 170, like that high 170 area. It's like 170, 80, 170, 50, right? You're seeing buyers just start to come in at that 170 level, like 170, 25, 130, 50, 60, 80, right? That whole area, they were eating it up. So you're seeing a nice buyer come in there. See if they show back up. All right, let's see if they can show back up. We have gap fills as well, right? You have that pivot high. That's been tested. You have this gap here from the low. That's up at 178. Now, I was looking for 176, right? 175, 176. And I'll show you guys why I was looking at 176. All right, because you can see here. Now, I might have to give you guys a 4-hour range. Let's do a 4-hour because you guys are going to see that like we're starting to enter a new range here on Apple. Okay. Okay. So look, you can see here, right? 180, right? You come down, 174. You come up, you pull back. Okay. You did that. All right. You did all that. But look, more importantly, after all that ridiculousness, you come up where? To 179.90, call it 180, the low 180s. You pull back to where? 174, 173.50. Where do you bounce back to? 179.75. Where do you pull back to? 174, 173.80 again. Okay, so there's that like, and then you put this double bottom. Resistance is where? 173.75, 174. And then it pulls back where? 170. 170 holds, 170 held, bang. You're back up into the range. So you have a little bit of a consolidation area there on that area there on Apple. And look at 176 right here. You guys can see this level right there, right? Right there, that big level right there. Okay. Now, it's not a major level. It's just like, I can't ignore it. For that level, to me, is just sticking out. All right, so I want to see if we can go up and possibly make that resistance. It was resistance back here, right? One little pivot area, all right? You got this wish-wash going on there. You know, that's what I'm looking for. Again, 174 is a brick wall right now, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. But I will see there's this little gap there too. I will be seeing, because look, you can see here as well. That look comes down, support, but then it gaps down and comes back up, support, right? Support breaks, right? Support breaks, look, resistance, gets above it, rejects it, comes back up, it stops right at 176, and bang, it opens up, it gets above it. Where's it go? Right back to, you know, it's just, this is like an area upon the support and resistance level that it like, that kind of like says, do we continue with this or do we reject, like, or are we gonna turn back around? All right, not a major level. It's just one of those levels like once it gets there, it's either going to reverse or you'll get a plow through it and it'll just keep running and then reject it higher, and when it pulls back, it'll test that level and then decide, hey, higher, lower, what are we doing here? It's like the level between the levels. If that means anything. Anyway, but so that's something I'm watching because we're holding up. Okay, Apple was holding up fairly well for the most part. I'm not gonna just like have a whole bunch of faith. Again, this is if the market decides to go higher and there's no news that separates Apple. So obvious support level here at 170.50. This 170 level, which was resistance. and we had some really nice volume. So we'll see if that continues earlier in the week, later on in the week. If we can just get a nice pullback to 171, 170, and I'd be looking to take that, 3-4 points to 174. All right, we get it down here. That could be our support. Really, our support's down at 168.50. But you're seeing us hold. We broke it, but held it on volume. All right. So that's 170.50. I'm gonna say 170 to 171. That whole area. So just keep it half dollar, whole dollar levels on that, right? 170, 170.50, 171. Back to the weakness. Now, Apple is like one of the names. I want to see if we can actually start to see what happens. Like, this has been a nice short also. Okay, this has been look at this. Just, boom. Are they going to start taking profits? I'm not sure. But it does look like, also, as I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, it does look like, you can see right here, this double bottom right here, boom, boom, right? What's it doing? Look at that. Look at this support level right there, right? Look at that support level. Where's it line up with? It lines right up with this double bottom. Look at that. Let me make it flat. Boom. Right? Broke it, reclaimed it. We'll see, though. All right? Again, we'll see. I'm not going to get long way up here when it's up at sound. I need a pullback. I need this thing to give me a bit of weakness. A low volume, like a gap down, low volume. And that also, I've learned with Apple, you got to watch because it'll suck you in one side and it'll just flip. It'll just spit you out. There'll be news or just something crazy, and it just flushes $2, $1.50. You're like, oh no. I thought this was Apple. I thought this stock was cool to trade. I thought there wasn't that much volatility. But anyway, hourly chart. It depends, I guess, what you look at. There's still some serious selling here. I'm also not opposed to the short, but look at this. If we do, for some odd reason, continue to hold 170, 171, and we do break 174, you have a lot of people short. This is giving you a big move, just like Tesla. What we've been talking about this since back here. Here, we were long, we were short. All right, we played Apple all through this whole area there. All right, so they've made some good money. And Apple is another place too. I posted this on Twitter, guys. Here's the other side to why I think we could get this. Just if it happens, it could consolidate. But look what you have here. What is this? And I posted this on Twitter. What's the secret code here? What's up, Black Trading? What's up, Basic? How you doing, bro? What is the secret code here? This is the code to a bear market. You have energy green, and what is green? What else is green? Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta. Why are these 4 or 5 red or green, and everything else is red? Liquidity. If things start getting shady, where's that money going to go? It's going to go into money, man. I'm talking real money. Big money, right? Big money. Who has to worry about getting out of positions are going to go to Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon. Okay? This was just last week. This was your heat map from last week. All right? They're going. This is a sign. This is showing you money going into liquid stocks so that they know if shit hits the fan and this market starts going south, they can get out. But just in case there is another little push and it's not time yet, we're going to pile into Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft. Why? Because we know we can get that money back out if we need to. There's a whole lot of liquidity. And that was the tweet. Do you see the hidden message? I'll give you a clue. It starts with the L. Nobody nobody knows me, whatever. But it's liquidity. This is the sign of a bear market. Energy green, Amazon, Google, right? The FANGs, not really the FANG names, but the biggest companies in the world, green, energy green, everything else red. So I do want to say, if things get bad, guys, you can't depend on energy and or gold or anything. Like, it could get bad enough. I don't think it's going to, but if things get bad, like stocks that go up when stocks go down will start going down. Like, everything gets crushed. You'll have the VIX probably will spike. It'll spike to an extent, and then just everything will get crushed. But anyway, you saw that. So we're seeing a sign, and that's why Apple's holding up, is because you're finding money being put into some of these areas. This is another part of the first sign that, of something to come later on. Whether it's big, whether whatever it is, I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and scream, because I don't think you're going to get 370, 380. If the market gives us 380 again, I might be worried, because there's just these certain points where, like, it gives you another time to buy it. You're never going to see it again. The market's not going to give you that much of a deal. Okay? And unless something's so bad, then we're not worried about money. All right? So that's what Art Cashin used to say on CNBC, and I haven't seen him in a while, but I hope he's okay. He's one of the oldest guys on the trading floor, and he's been around for a really long time, seen a lot of market cycles. So speaking of that, let's look at Microsoft. So with what I just said, now I am like bullish. I'm also bearish. I would be more bullish because of the fact that it's holding up at highs. It's making new highs. It just made a new high Thursday, Friday morning pre-market. Okay, this technically is a consolidation. This is Microsoft. This is a consolidation. But every time we do get up past 415, we do find some trouble, right? It just reverts back down. Ultimately, I want to see if this is a break and retest. Maybe we get like a little bit of a bounce, I would like to see a low volume pullback. Like, I don't know what happened. I gotta buy a new mouse. I keep saying this every stream. You guys will hear me say I need to get a new mouse. I'm out at the store. I completely forget that I need a new mouse. So, but either way, I want to see Microsoft, see if we do hold this level. I'm going to be watching. 15-minute chart's good. You guys can see this level here. I want to make sure you guys can see it, okay? All right. You guys can see this little level here, right? Where it made its support at like 417, turned 417 back into resistance Friday. It did it here, right? It came up, pulled back support, came up, double top, broke it. Right? And it came back up. It finally reclaimed it as support, rallied. So if we are above it tomorrow, depending on where we open, right? If we're above it, I'm going to look for a pullback. Now, if we're up here, obviously I'm going to look for a pullback into like, 419, 420. But my trade that I would like to have, guys, is like a 412. I don't think we're going to get that, but a 415 long to 420. 425. What was that? 428? I'm looking at the long on Microsoft, though. I will say that. That's if the markets are green. If the markets are going to go higher. Maybe we get another 520, like maybe the SPY, and like things just change up for whatever reason. I want to see if we can test at 420. That's my trade. I have it written down. Let me just read that off. 415 instead of doing the nonsense. All right, I'm looking for a 415 hold. Okay, 415 hold. Because ultimately, this high, I wanted to try to see if we could get 410. All right, we kind of just left 402 down here. We just left it. And you never pulled back to this pivot area. This is a nice double top. You guys, if I take pre-market off, you would see it right there and then right there. And then what happened? You just made 412 support, not 410. But either way, it's at highs. So I would look for 415 to hold, go long Microsoft, and see if you can't get it back up to 430. It might take you a few days. Just know that you have a little bit of some selling pressure up there. If we get 415, I'm going to be looking to take the majority of that trade off at 420. All right, I'm going to be looking to take majority of that trade off at 420. So a 415 long to 420. All right, 415 long to 420. If we get up to 415 or 420, and we just can't get through it, then I'm like, okay, let me see if I can't try the 420 down to 410 short. Okay, I'm neutral on this stock. I'm neutral on Microsoft. So if the markets pull back, I can sense the weakness up here on Microsoft. It doesn't take much. Like, the volume obviously does come in. Like, look at that volume. I don't know if there was news or not, but look at that volume. That's I don't even know how many million shares that is in a 15-minute candle. That's 7.3 million shares, just under 7.5 million shares traded. So that's the biggest sell volume we've had on this thing in quite some time on a 15-minute chart, right? All right, so that's that, right? 415 holds. Look, try to run this thing back up to like 420, 421. All right. I could also look for the gap fill. All right, I'll leave a piece on if we do get the long. Let's say we come in with a gap up wherever. If we're at 415, all right, we get that long. I will look to try and get that gap fill up at 423, 422.75. You have that nice flat top resistance right here on Microsoft, right there. If you guys can't see it, I'll show you. All right, that would be the resistance level I would look for. You got up, support, pulled back to it, it rallied, support, when broken on an increase in volume becomes what? Resistance. 410. So 415 long, 422.75, 423. See if we can't kind of get that gap fill and pull back. But again, Microsoft is strong. Don't try to get cute. All right, it's consolidating. I'm not hanging my hat on one 15-minute candle with 7 million shares. I mean, it's a sign. Don't get me wrong, it's a sign. All right, I know what's up there. All right, we got some sellers waiting up there. But if the market's going to go higher and things like Powell doesn't talk too bearish and, it's just one sticky data, like just relax. Like, give it some time, and it's kind of like brushes it off. Like, okay, all right, they're expecting that. We're all expecting that, Then we'll look to grind higher, and we'll see if that selling pressure is still up there on Microsoft. So, strong, weak name again. Got to look at McDonald's. Got to look at McDonald's. Look how weak this is. If the markets can, again, if we can get that little bit of a bounce, decide what we're going to do. But if the market does decide to pull back for whatever reason. Now, again, you have the JGB. It sounds like they're not going to raise rates just yet. I think they're going to push that out. They're like, let's just not do it right yet because it could cause a bit of, not a catastrophe, but them saying it is telling all of us that, this is going to mean something when they do it. And like they're uncertain at least of like, how much of an effect is this really going to have? Should we be doing, like, you can see that like psychologically, if you just listen to what they say on Bloomberg, CNBC, and about like even the JGB and what they say themselves, like this could have consequences. I mean, obviously, but to what extent? They're a little nervous, so you should be nervous too. At least I am. I'm not telling you guys to be nervous or anything, but with them saying, let's just hold on, let's just wait a little bit on doing that, that's kind of telling us when they go to do it, like what's going to make the right time for them to do it. If they're second guessing it, then obviously there's a little bit of a negative reaction that they're trying to hold off on. All right, maybe they just don't know what's going to happen because of all the stuff that's, again, I'm not a banker, I'm not a real estate agent. Like, what does this mean for contracts? What does this mean for loans? Like, what does this mean if they do that? I think that they're a little skeptical and like, things aren't broken right now. Should we make things worse? Okay, should we just relax? Like, the consequences could be pretty real. So if things, Powell, the JGB thing, like the stuff that's coming up, if for some reason this market does decide to go lower, I want to, I want to be short the names that are weak because they're going to give us that extra follow through. And look at McDonald's. There's like no price action here. There's like no price action here in this area. So we'll get like a free $5 on Microsoft, or not Microsoft, but McDonald's. It's not going to be free, but there's not a lot of buyers or anything here to stop us from just going from 280 Again, 280 to 275. There's nothing really there. This is like just like a hole. Got a little bit of price action there, but not much. You have a look at the daily chart. Look at this double top. Bang. You have a double top with a double top. With a double top. Double top. Big, like the bigger double top, right? Right? The big double top. You know, I wouldn't consider this one, but then I would consider, right? Bang. It just does not want to get above that level. And if it can't get up there, what's it going to do? It's going to sell off, right? You're seeing it with UNH, or you saw it with UNH and things like that. And that's what I'm getting at with the SPY earlier. We keep touching 408 or 508, 508, 508. There's going to be a time where we're just like, okay, dude, we're not like making any progress off this 408 level. Let's just step away as a buyer and pick this up at a lower spot, because it's obviously coming down here. And once it tests that level so many times, it just gives. But anyway, McDonald's. That's a short idea that I have that I'm watching for. I would like to see if we could get like a nice swing trade out of this and try. It's going to be tough, but it would be nice to get 260, even if we got to go 6 months out, 8 months out, 10 months out. You know, I would like, if that's the case, I would like to get this trade right. You know what I mean? I'd like to see if we can catch the bounce. Maybe be patient. Be a little patient on this. The RSI is really low. The thing is, I'm not worried about the RSI so much. You can see here, right? You guys can see once it goes, it goes. And look at the RSI. Like, don't hang your hat on one indicator, right? I don't see bullish divergence yet. I mean, kinda. This technically, right here, could be a lower high. Not really, because it comes down, and then it gives, like, I don't know. That technically, that close is a lower close than that, but I'm just speaking about the price action during the day, right? Because if you look, they took this thing back down to 277.42 or 277.70, and then here it was 278.36. So they didn't drop it down as much. We have some nice volume. Look at the volume. Look at that volume. So I'm looking at McDonald's for the short side if the market turns around. Another thing, if we get a bounce back, right? Where's that volume at? The volume's right here at 289, 290. 290. 20-day moving average. So maybe we be patient and maybe we can get that area right there. I'd like to try it because look at the volume we have. What do we have up there? That. We have that. I'll try that again. Okay. I know it's a little hard to see, guys. I'll have to maybe I'll have to find another charting software that's like easier for you guys to see. Just because I know it's, you know, maybe it's my huge ass monitor. I don't know. You know, that could be it too. But look at the sell volume that you have up there. Look at that. All right, and that's all up at 290. So the plan here that I have written down a little bit that I did was a 284, 285 short. And yes, I would like to get to 270. All right, I'd like to get to 270. I would like 260. That would be a swing trade. But as far as like a trade from like this week to into next week, I want to get the, you already rejected the 200-day. Depending on what the markets do, I would like, you know, maybe like a low volume bounce. I want to get short on bounce backs, right? I want to get short on the bounce backs. But if it doesn't give it to us, it doesn't give it to us. And it's clearly weak, right? It's clearly weak. There is some news. There's a couple different things about news with people going to grocery stores, this, that, and the third. I'm going to hang my hat on this. Wait, 279. We're here at 279. Double bottom. Support. Resistance. All right, here we go. If we break, let me go back to this real quick because I just seen something here. My name is Sam Davis. Medicare Advantage here on Bloomberg. See, it's this area right there, guys. I'm pretty confident. We break 278.88. It's on and popping. It's on and popping, guys. So we'll see where we open up. Okay, we'll see what this volume brings. We'll look at the sector itself. Okay, let's see. You know, McDonald's. You guys got to understand the sector. So don't be scared. Go look at Go look at your heat map and look at the sector, okay? It should be McDonald's. Where McDonald's is, I thought, in whatchamacallit? Let me see here. I just want to look real quick. You know, I know it's okay, restaurants. Okay, with Starbucks and such. See, I didn't think it was that little of a waiting. I was thinking of the S&P, that's why. It's on full right now, so that's what's going on here. All right, so oh shit. My bad, gang. My bad, gang. Watch food and sorry about that. Watch food and beverages. So you actually have restaurant brands down 3% that day. Starbucks was down. Looks like this sector is a little bit of an underperformer. Same with internet retail. Okay, at least in America. Amazon was down. Baba PDD was flat. JD was green. Okay, but look at travel services, right? Like, look at the sectors. What sectors are weak? Obviously, Friday we closed software application and software infrastructure was red. But, again, back to McDonald's. We'll see what the overall sector does. Like, if you see, like, Starbucks, Chipotle, and some of the other names, like, this whole thing start to, like, go green a little bit. And I'll see if, you know, we get a low volume bounce, you know, Monday into Tuesday. Maybe we take it Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to the downside. That's my plan. I'm going to watch it tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm going to watch this sector. All right, maybe it starts to get like flat, a little bit of green, and then we start to see it fade back to flat and then back into the red, and we want to ride that wave, okay? You got to feel it, all right? It takes a while to do those kind of things, but, you know, like understanding rotation and as it's happening, you've been in the markets long enough that you understand it just takes time. That's all it is. It just takes a little time. Again, if you guys have any questions or stocks, you can throw them in the chat if you'd like. Let's see here. Can we get the 200 day? Can we get 284 to 285? I think this will be our area. That's the area I'm looking for. That previous pivot low, right? This pivot high, support, 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 broke. It tested it Friday. So it bounced and hit it Friday. That's why I'm like, okay, we got to see what's going on. You can see it bounced right into it. Bang, and just fell out of bed. So 279 or 280, I'm sorry, 280. All right, we'll see where it's at. Let's keep it moving. I have a couple small caps too. I was kind of just looking at small caps, DraftKings. I kind of, again, it's holding. This is a support area, but it's not moving off of it. I mean, you could take the long if it holds on 41 to 43.50 or so. But if you go back, there's a lot of things going on here that I've been watching. All right, again, it's at its highs of the year. Here's the other thing I forgot to mention, guys. Remember, the first quarter is about over. Remember this. We're getting ready to go into Q2 of 2024. First quarter was green. What does that mean for the second quarter? Start trading, and I need to do a better job of this. And I thought about this weekend. All right. So far, the first quarter of the year has been really nice and green. If we start to see a consolidation going into April, and we start seeing a rally in April, I'm like, okay, the first half of Q2, the start of Q2 is green. I'm going to ride that wave for about a month or so, and then we'll look to see, does it like roll over to where the quarter is flat, and then third quarter we get some red, and then what does that mean for the fourth? Like, do we get a bounce and kind of flatten, and like the whole year was like kind of flat? So if I were to, what I'm saying is, if I step this 1, 2, 3, if I step this box, right, this box, that box, and this box, quarters, okay, like, do we like start early in Q2, right? We go to the upside, but then like we pull back, right? So then like let's say it's DraftKings, right? Here's first of the year, we pull back, okay, to like 39, like if this is the SPY, right? But then Q3 we come down, right? And we get our downside, or depending on Q2 at the end of the year, do we roll it over and how far, right? Does it come down? I'm sorry, that was supposed to connect. Because it's important. This is how I think the year is going to go, right? And then, again, Q3, we get our pullback, right? It comes down, let's say it comes down to here. But then we start making new lows of the year on the SPY. Then we get that bounce back in the fourth quarter into the end of the year. Then you look back and like we're up slightly on the year, if not like flat, like because we did rally. Like if we rallied like on the SPY, right? And then you guys get what I'm saying? I don't know. Type yes, no. You guys know what I'm saying. So like let's just see if we end the year just a little bit green on the year. A little bit green. We'll see what happens. We have a presidential debate coming. There's still a lot coming down the tunnel. All right, we still have a lot of stuff going on. We could just keep grinding, and then third, fourth quarter we're red. Q1, Q2 green, third quarter or the first half of third quarter flatten out. End of third quarter we sell off. Uncertainty with the president, even though we know what we kind of get with him for the most part, and then we sell off first quarter just to sell off. I don't know. For tax loss harvesting of last year, right? All those gains that we had, that could be another option. But anyway, let's get back to DraftKings. That's my ADHD. I seen this and I wanted to also get that out. So like that's what I'm planning on this year. And I want to trade that quarter on quarter, month over month, all right, year on year. That's my idea for this year. I want to see if Q2, the first half of Q2, we continue this rally. Then we like pull it back a little bit. Then we get like either we get a deeper pullback or like the whole quarter of the third quarter is a pullback. And then we start to bounce like fourth quarter, middle of fourth quarter, or the start of fourth quarter. Well, really the end of fourth quarter because you'll get that end of third, beginning of fourth where it's kind of weak. And then again, like October, November, and December, we start to rally. We'll see if that happens. Or, you know, we continue this, and then third quarter is a down quarter, which keeps us flat, and then fourth quarter we rally, so then we're up green a little bit. All right. But anyway, DraftKings, okay? You have the 200-day moving average here, this turquoise line. All right. Right now, it's rallying. It's putting in a base, like it's consolidating. They're buying the dip. It rallies. All right. Now, I was looking at this here a little bit. Now, I was looking at a couple things. Here you put in a double bottom, right? So we rallied, put in a bottom, and I'm wondering if we're getting that again. Okay? I just feel like we put in this is as blatant as it can get for a double top, right? That's about as blatant as you can get for a double top up there. Look at all the tails that are coming in on DraftKings. Tail, right? Kind of like Roblox, right? What does this have in common? They're smaller cap names, all right? Look where we're at. We just made support at that $40 level. Now, I do not own DraftKings anymore. I bought DraftKings before it was DraftKings when it was Diamondback, the merger group Diamondback. I bought it at $11, $12, $13, all the way up to $18. I think I bought a couple at $20-some and I just let it go. It was a huge position for me. I made a lot of money on this name. I sold on the rallies up to the 60s. I held the rest. It went to 74, and I sold the rest of the half at like 69, 71. I think I got off a little bit at like 71 into the 70s because I did not want to let that go. And then, the high 60, 69, it was like 68, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with this thing for a little while. It was actually on this here. See, look, 64, 65. It was this half that I sold the last little bit that I had on that last run up, and I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity here. Like, I'm getting rid of it. And it was a good call. Look what happened, because that's when the share lock agreement came in. That's right before the third month. Or it was like, let's see, it's not important, but that sell off there was your, where the lockup agreement, where 90 days then the sellers could sell. But anyway, it was in the summertime. It should have been July, I think, June, July. It doesn't matter, but I'm pretty sure that is. But anyway, so here we go. Let me do this. Sorry that I keep getting off track. It's late. I have ADHD. So this is obviously $40 is obviously a level that we have to watch. It's from like 40 to 45. It's actually a $5 level. You have support resistance, both at 45 and 40. But if 40 breaks, where's the volume at? The volume's just dropped off. You have a clear double top. I think they know. Again, the stock is in an uptrend, so it's all going to depend on the market. But I'm bullish, but I'm also bearish. I'm gonna not be cute and fight the trend. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So if we do get a pullback to the 50-day moving average, $40, 40.50, and it holds, I would like to see if we get that. We get 1 day with volume. I will be long this stock, but I'm also not counting out that we could get a nice pullback to where the level that we haven't made support, and that's $35. I think we're headed to $35 on DraftKings. Not this week, maybe even not even next week, but maybe in the next like 2 to 3 weeks, we could get a maybe it even gives us a dip buy of like 36 and tries to get down into that mid 30s, the high 30s, and then you start getting a dip buy. You got the 100-day, the 50-day. You got a lot. It's just not going to crack those moving averages. But we're not above the what? The 20-day, the 9 EMA. We're below it. Okay, we have a double top. We have volume that's kind of fallen off here. Let's see what happens when we get down to $40. You get down to this 50-day, 40-50 area. Let's see what happens. All right, you could, if you get like a low volume bounce, or if you come in with a gap up tomorrow and you see we can't get through 42.50 or the 20-day moving average, which is right here, that 20-day moving average, you could look for a short, take it back down to $40. It's $1.50, $2 on a $40 stock. It's a nice percentage. All right, just watch, because you can see here that like you come in with that nice day, it comes in with a gap down, nice continuation on lower volume. I would just don't rush the trade. You have a little bit of a cup and handle, but I don't think that that's a cup and handle in my opinion. All right, you have some nice volume that they're getting rid of this. As it goes up to those areas, they're getting rid of it. So that's DraftKings. I'm neutral on it. So again, it's going to depend if the market goes higher or if we go lower. If we get a pullback on the market, that's going to help my thesis here. And we get that pullback and we look for that support level of $35 to be your support level. We don't have much price action again, though, from 38, 39 to like 40.50. I'd say 42, 41.50. You have $1.50 where there's just like not much. So that's DraftKings. I'm going to be patient on it. That level's holding up very firm, I guess you could say. This level right here. If we break 41.50, then we have a nice easy short down to 40.50, $40. So that's what I would be looking at on DraftKings. All right. You can see here, if you start, that would be a nice entry point as well. Right here, you come in, you get that $42 level, it rejects it, and you look for the short there. All right, this level right here. Right there. You look for that to be a rejection point. Look, it was a rejection point there. See if it becomes it again. It tries to get above it, holds it, it cannot, and on what? An increase in volume, it breaks. That should become resistance. And what else do you have? The 20-day moving average coming in right there as well. All right, so short up at that 42 level, get a small little bounce back to the 20-day. We'll see. Just know, if we do get a long, what do you have at $44, $43.50, $44? Look at that. Bang, bang, bang. That's ultimately where we want to short, is up there at $43.50. All right, so if we get a small little volume pullback, maybe you can catch the long to $43.50 and look to get short up there. But do the sellers step down? Was this the first sign Friday that the sellers are going to start stepping down? If these sellers that are here, right, because right now our sellers are right there at where? 43.60, 43.50. What if they start stepping down to 43? You don't know until you know. All right? Keep that in mind. If they don't step down and we get an increase where the buyers are step up, watch for that. That's going to give you your case. Let's go to GLD. I want to buy GLD. Now, I got to figure out what this market's going to do. It's giving me the opportunity right now. I said if I get 198 on GLD, I got to take it. I didn't take it Friday because the market was pulling back. We have Powell coming up. But if I get another chance at 198, now look, I'm going to take it day by day. All right, I'm going to take it on what the market's doing, what Powell says. But, you know, I want to buy a pullback because right now we have just broken out, and I will not miss this run. This thing will continue, and I have a target of 210, which is the price of this movement here. All right. I think we can do 210. That is from this. This is your bull flag, right? That's the pole, and then obviously, right? This is on a weekly chart because I accidentally clicked it, but you can see right here. If you can't see it, it's right there. That's your bear flag, okay? That is your, I'm sorry, bull flag. Sometimes I say things wrong, guys, so on the lives. So there's your bull flag. You can see it better on the daily chart. All right, it's not perfect. And we called for this a while ago, but I forgot about it. Literally, it's fully recorded that I brought up GLD the day before this huge run on that day above the 50 day. Literally, it's live on this channel. And what I do, I forgot about it. So you can see we're holding up here. You have this nice bull flag. I think we can get to 210. We'll see, though. If the market decides to turn around or Powell starts to talk this market down, then we got to watch for some downside. Because everything's going to get sold off. All right? If the Fed thinks they're still worried about inflation, that they might have to just continue with the higher for longer. All right? We are going to get an economic summary of economic projections. We will have Powell live. All right? We'll get more into that as, you know, as we get closer to Powell. I do want to be a buyer. I do want to look at this volume coming out. That's a huge breakout. All right, for the most part. So it's given us, think about it, guys. It's given us our opportunity. Don't get caught lacking. Don't look back 2 weeks from now and GLD 3 weeks from now is back up to 210. Look at the volume. Look at that volume. You can't argue with that. I can't. Look at that volume. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing right there. Look at that volume. Oh my God, this mouse, bro. Like, it's so bad. I hate it. So yeah, we get a pullback on GLD. You know, I want it. I want it. I want all the smoke. All right. You know what? I'm going to keep a tight stop loss for them. Not too tight. But I think I'm going to give it some time. I don't think. I know I am. I'm going to give GLD time. And I want to see if I can get that 195.85, 180. We'll call it 196. See if I can't get 196 long. And while I think about it, keep Bitcoin in mind. We got to keep Bitcoin in mind. All right, we got to keep Bitcoin in mind. All right, that's a nice break, pullback, retesting. Do have some volume coming in there. I still think that's profit taking. Dude, I'm so upset that I never got my 12,000. I was just waiting for 12,000. It was so close. I should have already been buying at 16. I should have just said right here, I need to start buying. But what happens is, you know, when you get volume like this, like look at that volume. Okay, it wasn't even like this buying volume was nowhere near this. It's not like we got like a huge spike in buying. Right? It kind of just, I thought, and I think this is what they thought too, was that we were just going to bounce back to this level where we consolidated at 28, and then it was going to give us our 12, right? 13, 12. And I say 13, 14 because, you know, people will probably be buying there. And I think that's what a lot of people were like, oh snap, we missed it right there. On that day, look at that day right there. This is why it's always good to go back and look at a technical analysis, because the chart told you right there on that pullback and hold, bang, look at that. That was it. They're like, okay, the roles have reversed, the market's turned, financial conditions have eased. Like, you know, It told us. But anyway, I want to look at. I'm going to be looking at gold. I just wanted to pull that up actually and look at gold. So gold's having a. This is a daily chart. Okay, so we're actually still pulling back. Will it give it to us? Because there's still sellers there at 213. So this would be the level I'm looking at on GLD. We'll see if it holds up. I'm not confident that it's going to. You know, we could pull it all the way back down and kind of fail. I don't know. You know, does the government step in and say we don't want this thing to go higher because of Russia, because of inflation, right? This is inflation going higher. Does this mean that we can't break out and that's a sign of deflation coming? You know, I doubt it, but I don't think we get that. But we'll see what happens. All right, we have some nice volume back here. But I think, like, that's my final straw right here. This is going to be my final straw. This is the range that I would be long in. So that's where I would start to buy, is up there at 213. My stop loss would be just below 212. I would say like 210. And like after that, I know, okay, I got this wrong. So that's a what is that? $3 technically. $30, $300. Let's see, 2,100, 2,130. So it's $30 I'm at. I'm sorry, that's like $330. I said I had $30 in my head, but so you know, this is where I want to start looking to be a buyer on gold. Me personally, right there, right, 215 or 214. All right, 214. I'd like to see us hold that. I'd like us to pull back in even further to like 213, get people nervous. Bang, we get that 212, let's get it. Right? Like we don't give it an opportunity to get to 211, 210. That's where all that volume is. We should see some people step in if this thing is going to actually give it to us. Really, we should start to see a bounce right now. We should start to see a consolidation. Another test of 216, pull it back, put in a higher low. Then you get that test of 218, 219. Right? And then it pulls back. We want to see, just like Bitcoin, we want to see a consolidation. Okay, it's time to go higher. We're not selling off. It's time to go higher. We brought in some more liquidity. Let's bid it up. But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going to try to do. At least, you know, I'm going to try to do it. Just because I don't get it this time doesn't mean that I can't get it the next time. So if we see things going higher, we want to be long. Plain and simple. At least like this, at these breakouts. This consolidation, again, could take a little bit. Dude, what is going on? Just so you guys do know, I don't own any right now, but I was long. I think it was in 2021 or 2022. What was it? I've already been long gold. I don't hold it right now, but right here. Yes, November and December. December is where I got long. Right there. Right there. And I had March contracts for 2023. It's like March, April, May. I think it was March, though. I didn't go all the way out to May because I noticed the farther I went out, the less liquid they were. And, like, I was going to get paid more on March. And I'm like, man, 3 months was still enough time. And I think I had the 180 calls is what they were for March in December. I think it was like the first week of December I bought. It was like December 12th, December 9th, something like towards like the first week of December, into the second week. I think it was right there when I bought. What is that? 11/23, 12/16. So it was right here in this on that pullback, right? Yeah, 12/6. It was right there. That was me. That was a beautiful trade, and I'm pretty sure I took the majority of it. This was the last swing. The last real swing trade that I had was actually gold. I can't remember the last time if I've had a swing trade since that trade there. Which I want to start putting more back on. I want to try to. I've kind of been waiting for this market to pull back and us get some news where I could just get short and lean on it and not get out of it until it gave me a reason. And I kind of haven't gotten that. So it's like, I feel like this past year, like not even just 2024, But like even 2023, I felt like me as a trader was just like fighting this coming out of bear market, like not sure on the bullishness and not sure on the downside either. Because I know that we have banking issues once the Fed steps away, and they have. Bank term lending is over. It's no mas. So, but at the end of the day, I need to just remember the Fed balance sheet. Oh, this is what I wanted to say too, real quick. This is huge. Think about this. So you've had what, 19% inflation? That's like 4 to 6 years worth of inflation just in the past 2 years. Right? Just since 2020. You've had it just accumulate. But more importantly, I know I'm going back and forth here, but this is what matters. And we have been saying, oh shit, is financial conditions going lower right now? Are you kidding me? Has it been this long? No. I gotta make sure this is right. No, I do not want to print. Bro, no, I don't want to print. Bro, look, guys, look. Financial conditions are easing again. We thought we were getting a bottom put in here. I guarantee you this week might be green. If you continue to see this pull back, guys, this market's going higher. This market's going higher. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. I did not expect this. Dude, what is the Fed doing, bro? Oh my god, they're not going to let... Alright, well, I don't think this market's pulling back anytime soon. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't. This is easing financial conditions. We thought we were getting that low put in, and we were saying for like the January, February, like let's just, we're seeing the selling like that just randomly comes in, that like just keep an eye on financial conditions. And obviously we're already back down, putting in a new low. Are you kidding me? Yo, that is crazy. Wow. But anyway, okay. No big deal. I will just remain long. So liquidity. There was a thing, if you guys watch The Compound, go watch The Compound from this week. Josh Brown and, what's his name? Why do I always forget his name? Every time I'm on my stream, but I know his name. Michael Batnick. Josh Brown from CNBC. Go watch. Type in The Compound. Go watch the two guys that they had on Friday. They talk about the liquidity. And they bring up a really good point on the liquidity that was given during 2020. And think about the liquidity that was given. And now that when we take it away, what does that effect have? Again, financial conditions are easing. And they also talked about how the reverse repo was pretty much a, we take it out, but we're putting it back in just in another form. I think it was Basel III or whatever endgame, whatever the hell the banking stuff is. But at the end of the day, the Fed has been providing liquidity to banks and all the other like reverse repo things that have been going on, which means that money, if the banks are doing an overnight repo, right, and they're collecting a very small spread, when they catch that profit, where does that money go? They put some back in the markets. You obviously had the Bitcoin, news with the ETFs, but more so, you just had liquidity. Liquidity has been the driver on top of financial conditions easing. So what does that mean when we really start to take liquidity out? But the biggest question is, are they going to take it out? So I'm going to start watching not just financial conditions really, but I'm going to be more focused on the Fed balance sheet. All right. No, I don't want that. I want Fred, but this should give me the latest. I want to start watching this. So when they start taking a lot of this money out, what does that mean for the markets? You saw what happened when it got put in, but we start taking it out. What does that mean for markets? And what did I show you guys? What did I show y'all? I showed you guys safety, liquidity. I showed you guys liquidity, right? But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. And the volume on the SPY, look at that. So, but that's so far, that's what I have, guys. We can run through like Google and stuff real quick. If you guys have any stocks you guys want to cover, you can throw it in. I'm telling you guys, it's really important. Go check that out. If you guys go to the compound, just say, League sent us. Okay? Just let them know I sent you guys over there. Because it's important. Alright? It's important you guys see that so you guys can learn a little bit and fully get an understanding on like a lot of things. They have a lot of charts. Like, it was a good one. It was a good one this week. Alright, Google. Google's up at resistance right now. That's a major resistance level. You also have the 50-day moving average right there up in your face. I'm in your face. Right now, on the quarter, it's down. So that's a nice rejection. It could not hold the 50-day moving average. Look at the volume that came in. All right, we'll go back and we'll look to see what part of that volume that day came in and was a buyer. Oh, that's why. I'm going to have to change that. Yeah, look at the buying that kind of came in there. Let's, depending on what. Yeah, it's still green. Let's see here. Let me do this one more time. All right, I'm going to do this one more time. All right. Okay, so this is a hold here. Let's look at Google tomorrow and 142. I'm going to write this down right now with you guys. I'm going to look for 142. $142 hold or break. Okay, does it hold or break? All right, this is obviously in an uptrend. Longer term, this is your resistance level right there. You guys can see why. And if I pan it out, that level right there is your resistance level. And that was the very top. You can see support, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance. You try to break above it. What are we doing? Bang. All right, so you saw what happened last time there. You are down at the support level kind of right now, which would be down there. I would move this, and I would actually put that down there. But I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. The thing is I should be going to the daily and weekly chart to see what we have. But that's been a nice move for Google. I don't know if there's been a catalyst for this. But Google. We'll look for Google to have resistance up there. You know, it's got support back down at 140. So you get a low volume bounce, another try back at the 50-day moving average. I would look to take Google back down to 140 and see if 140 holds. All right, you're at 142. This could be a nice, easy trade for you. That's the 100-day moving average. So that's what we have. It's stuck between the 50-day and the 100-day moving average. Is what it looks like. And look, we have the 20-day moving down. This could be nice. So I think she's going to 42. I really do. I think she's going to $42. I think that is in the cards for Google. Alright, that's about all I have right now, guys. I will have more. Let's go to Tesla and stuff real quick. We'll knock out some of the good ones. So if we get a low vol, if tomorrow if we come in with a gap up, I'm gonna look for 142 to get short on Google. I'm going to. Now again, you know, do I worry about the liquidity and stuff like that? You know, it closed red Friday, but it did hold that level. Really, technically, this is a rally and a pullback and a hold of 42. So 42 is holding. And that's going to be the question. If it continues to hold, we'll look for the break of the 50-day, make the 50-day support, and try to fill these gaps up here because we have gaps. Right? You have some gaps here. Right here's a gap. There's a gap right there. There's a gap right there. Right? So you have some gaps. Where else is a gap? You have a huge gap right there. So that would be the target, 150 to the upside. 150 to the upside. I'm going to write that down. 150. I'm also thinking about, like I just brought up to you guys, swing trades. If you guys, again, I got to remember to let you guys know that we do trade live Monday through Friday right here on this channel. I will be practicing swing trades to put on because I want to be able to capitalize. And again, a lot of people don't take it for what it is. But as an athlete, what do you got to do? You got to train. You got to practice. You got to train. Eat, sleep, and breathe it. All right? You don't just do the fighting in the ring. You fight outside the ring. So as we, I want to be able to, like, tomorrow, right? If we do pull back to this resistance level and I get a chance to get long at the 20-day and the 50-day, like, that's what I'm going to battle with right now. Is this a sign that we're going to get 140 to be able to be a buyer, or does this hold? If 142 does not hold, then okay. I'm going to look to take it down. That's an increase in volume. You tried to get up through that level on an increase in volume, but even worse, the volume came in even more so on the downside. I'm going to keep it neutral here. It's going to depend on the markets. All right. But I'm going to be, again, training. That's how you get better. That's it. That's how I've gotten this far. It's like there were certain things I wanted to work on, so I worked on them. Whether it was reading tape, limit orders, right? Fills, entries, exits. There's all kinds of things you could work on. So I would like to see if Google can pull back. I'm not sure if it will. But if we get a pullback to 140, I would look for 140 to hold, that 100-day and 20-day moving average to be here. Look for a bounce. You could at least get that bounce back to the 50-day and it'll reject it. So you'd be able to take profits on that move. I got to get some sleep. That's about all I have tonight. But look, Tesla. These are the stocks I'll be looking at in the morning. I wanted to show you guys real quick. Tesla, obviously Palantir, PLTR, okay, Rivian. These are just a few. That 212 level broke on Rivian. All right, or that $12 mark. Palantir is pulling back in a decent way. Don't ride the trend. If you get a bounce back on Palantir, right, you bounce it back to the 20-day, like $24.50, $20, bang. All right, or this is going to be support down here. Your support level is down at $22.97, $23. 23 support on Palantir. All right, $23 support on Palantir. Same thing with DraftKings, right? You've rallied. It's like, okay, is this last rally going to hold? SoFi, Tesla. But I want to show you guys news real quick. There's a lot of news out. SoFi is another stock that's been weak. SoFi has been weak. So if the market pulls back, SoFi is hurting, guys. SoFi is hurting. I'm serious. This isn't good. I think we get SoFi to $6.50. You have news on Uber right now. There was news on Uber. They've got to pay a fee to Australia. All right. They're at all-time highs right now. They have to make which I'm going to show you guys real quick. All right. They are paying. And if you guys need anything, you guys can always message me right on Twitter at Ivy League Trades, at Ivy League Trading, or at Ivy League Trades, with the ES at the end. Where is she? Did I delete it, bro? No, it's right here. Why is it so far over? That's so weird. Uber to pay $178 million in Australia taxi class action lawsuit. That's pretty big, guys. $178 million. I think the stock, you'll see it get hit just a little bit. Uber's a great company. So we'll have to read this. Uber has agreed to pay This says 178 million, but this says Uber has agreed to pay a 271.8 million. 100. Oh, it's talking about Aussie dollars. Okay, $8. I thought that's so. 270 billion or 270 million to settle a lawsuit brought by Australia taxi operators and drivers who said they lost income when the ride-hailing company moved into the country, the law firm said on Monday. Settlement. Why can't the taxi drivers just switch to Uber? What? Can't beat them, join them. That's crazy. The government's like, here, yeah, you got to give the poors a little bit of money because they just didn't want to download the app and do it. I mean, you got old people. I get it. I could see it. The person's 60 years old, right? World War, a veteran and shit. Like, just like, guys, I just want to be a taxi driver and just retire and live out the little bit of the time I got left driving people around. I get it. They don't know how to use apps and stuff, but the class action lawsuit was filed in 2019 on behalf of more than 8,000 taxi and hire car owners. So 2012 relevant market outlook. Uber spokesman said the email and the company contributed to state-level taxi compensation schemes in 2018. Uber did not disclose the purpose settlement in its response. They knew full well they were required to have their drivers and their vehicles fully licensed. Barton told Australian Broadcast they chose not to do that, and they did a lot of things that gave them a commercial advantage against taxi industry, which established their foothold. Okay. So $1 equals 1.5 Australian dollars, so 1.5. That's something you didn't know. You learn something new every day, right? No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm getting a little bit tired, but there were a few other things like TSM, that's right, TSM considering advanced chip package capacity in Japan. All right. Reddit exclusive Reddit's IPO as much as 5 times oversubscribed, sources say. Exclusive Reddit's IPO as much as 5 times over. What did they say? There's comments in this. An unprofitable woke dumpster fire. What could go wrong? Just tell me when puts are available. I'll load up. Mad money. Okay. Why does everything have to be political? Like, seriously? Anyway, guys, I love you guys. You guys have a great night. Come join us in the morning, 7:30 to 4. Get some sleep. I'm going to get mine. We'll get a few hours of shut-eye. It's already 1 o'clock where I'm at. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Again, I urge you because, if you are a subscriber, we get to our 1,000 subscribers. I click on the video and you've liked it. If you want it at least, I'm doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to do it. So with that said, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. If you guys have any questions after the watch list, just post them down in the comment section. Sorry if it was a little long. And I'll get back to you. We'll see what this week brings. Have your head on a swivel. All right. This market's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go back up. It's going to go back down. There's going to be a lot of volatility. You hear it, just in that statement, there was a trade. If there's going to be a lot of volatility, that means, volatility VIX should be a little bit higher, right? Should start to increase in the chances of things getting a little crazy. Money should get put to work. Where? In names like the VIX, UVXY, right? Why? Because they want to protect that upside. They want to have some capital in the short, but they also want to be just protecting that long. Okay, so we'll see if the VIX starts to increase as we get closer to the Fed meeting, even though we know what we're going to get. But what are we going to get for the balance sheet? What are we going to get on talks on inflation? Is he going to talk tough, talk about, y'all talking about cuts, we might give you another 25 basis points. I don't think they do. People are going to talk like they are. They're probably not. They're done. I think we can all probably agree on that they're not just going to stop and and then start this process again. They're too deep into it, I feel like. They could, you know, but that's it. Liking, subscribing would help someone else find us that would like to learn and be here, and we greatly appreciate you guys for joining us tonight, for hitting the like button, for subscribing. I cannot wait to get to 1,000 subscribers just so I can give you guys a giveaway. Have a great night. We'll see you guys bright and early in the morning right here on this channel. And again, Lord grant us to run it up on these bums. Peace out.